second line of Robrek and Czata. And my goodness, that's been fun. Zada's, like what we talked about last year. I think that Creed is going to go through what Zada did last year. That's my early take and early guess of 2025 on January 1st. Zada has become everything that we expect or thought he could, but I think he's even exceeded that. I would love to see the next round of scouting. I really don't think he'll be projected seventh round anymore. I think he's helped his draft stock a ton.
Yeah, I talked to him at practice a few weeks ago, and he said even being honest, when that list came out, he was pretty ticked off about it. And I think it's really lit a fire to show that he's a lot more worthy of being a mid-round draft pick than being a late-round draft pick. And we always talked about the defensive play being there. I know he struggled in one of the games. I think it was Saginaw or Flint, his face-off percentage. But for the most part, he's been one of the IceDogs' go-to face-off guys this year. And his offensive ability, he's almost doubled his point output already through halfway through the season than he had all of last year. And that was the one thing that we knew would come with time. And now that he's got that confidence to know that he can make these plays and be able to carry the puck in, he was that X-factor guy that we talked about. We knew that Robrek was going to do what he did and really take that next step forward. But it was Czata as the other first-round pick that unfortunately gets overlooked because the IceDogs had two of them. But they took him fifth overall for a reason, and he's a guy that what GM Wes Consorti said he was in plain sight all year. You know what you're going to get from Ethan Czata on a day-in and day-out basis, and you need guys like that to be able to be successful and be a contending team. And right now they're showing that Ethan Czata is all that and more.
30 points in his last 22 games.
Wild.
Yep. So just unreal second season from Czata. And we mentioned that he is the X factor going into training camp. That if he was to, become a 50-point player, that this team becomes exceptionally dangerous. And to be honest, I say this a lot, but I'm excited for next year too. Next year, it's a real shot at the OHL championship when you have players like Czata and Kevin and Robrek and Waslin in his second year. It's a real shot at that. And you look around, other teams that are in their win. I mentioned Barrie a lot, but it's just because they're the team in the East that it looks like all roads go through Barrie, especially once they make some more moves, I think, as well at the deadline. That decor is just so impressive. But when you look at, we talked about, when you have 8 NHL drafted players, right? It's just impressive to look at. And Czata will get drafted. I think we can confirm. I think I don't think it's going to be some outlandish thing to be like he's going to be an NHL drafted player, right? And now you've got Kevin with Czata, and Robrek and Waslin are going to get drafted next year for sure. So, knock on wood. It's just a lot of fun for the future of it. But this year, Czata has really become a really must-watch player.
And it's going to be fun to see him at the OHL Top Prospects game in Brantford in a few weeks as well.
Yeah, and again, Robrek has gotten all the love. Or not the love, but the spotlight, as he should. Fair enough. As he should. Robert's earned all of that. But it's tough when, you come in fifth overall, right? Very, very few situations in the OHL you get drafted fifth overall and you're not their highest pick, right? It's a special circumstance. So, and then you've got such a short career window. And then you've got Ryan, who, as a 16-year-old, breaks every franchise record, and he's highly touted and all of this. And, it's tough to kind of break out that shadow, but it doesn't feel like that now, where it's like this season, it feels like they're both just kind of maturing together, right? And obviously Ryan's going to get a lot of the accolades. But when you look at the actual just team lead in points, Ryan's leading the team in points, which I think is surprising, with 52. And Czata's now with 37, right? But 30 of those have come in the last 22 games, right? He has a slow start to the year. So just really fun to watch.